Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video, and today we'll be doing an unboxing and we'll be taking a look at the X100 Dexterity, which as you can see here is a pretty new copter from XK, which is kind of like a subdivision of WL Toys, sort of their higher up new brand. And now this is a 3D capable quadcopter. Let's open the box here. Very nice little black box. XK has nice packaging usually. So here we have a manual, and it looks like half Chinese, half English there. So let's get this out. Everything looks very nicely packaged. Let's take the quad out. Just set this aside. Got the radio. Another little box here. Okay, there's that box. Quad over. This almost feels okay. It doesn't. It almost felt heavy enough to have batteries in it. It looks like it's going to take 4 AA's. This is the same transmitter, similar. I don't know if it's exactly the same, but as the other models, XK X250, I know the quad, but it's got nice long sticks. If you're a pincher or a thumb flyer, they feel a little bit too loose to me, but they don't seem to stick. So, you know, and it has shoulder buttons. So let's see what is in here. It's quite interesting that this is in a separate little box of its own. Get rid of that. So here we have a little charger. It looks like this just plugs into here. So I have a little USB charger that goes into a dual port micro LOSI with 2 separate indicators. These are nice chargers, but it doesn't seem like it comes with 2 batteries, so that's interesting. But at least you have the option, or if you have different batteries, that'll fit this. And then, I guess that's just a bag there. And then we also have 4 spare propellers. And these are definitely proprietary. At least, you know, I mean, they're a 3D propeller, but I'm not sure if other propellers might work. I believe the shafts are all 1mm, so you might be able to get other ones to work. Here's the quad. So let me move this stuff around here. So here we have the quad, and as you can see on it, it says Dacos. I don't know, maybe they meant to say tacos. I don't know, that's a little weird. And one thing I noticed, if this is the back, the red is in the back, which I don't like, so I'll be changing that. Simple. Sticker on here will get off. And now this frame with this little fin under here kind of reminds me of the Blade Nano QX 3D, but I don't know if that's meant to be the same. One interesting thing that's awesome is all your motors just plug straight into the body here, so super easy to swap. It will be. And you can see the frame is kind of the PCB board itself. That's the frame and everything. It's got holes out of it to try and keep it as light as possible, I would assume. And it's got these little prop guards, which actually feel pretty good stiffness, good plastic, not that cheap, so they should work a little bit, and they are non-removable. And you can see some of the board components under here, so the fin might also to protect them a little bit. But let's get this. You can take the canopy off. Oops, I hit the camera there. You can take the canopy right off, and then you can get underneath, so you could save another gram maybe if you wanted to. And it looks like the battery, does it slide out? Yeah, it does. Okay, so there's a little like clamp in here that is just tight enough for this battery to fit in there, and to squeeze fit in. If I can get it, there we go. So I don't know, battery options might be a little bit more limited with this one. And it is a 1S 250 milliamp hour battery. So once again, keeping it kind of light to try and, you know, keep the weight down this to give it a better 3D performance. And from what I've seen, is this can actually go full 3D, kind of like a collective pitch helicopter, where upwards of half throttle is positive pitch and downwards is negative pitch. And it does with this, it doesn't have collective pitch props. Obviously they are fixed pitch, so it just reverses the direction of the motor, so you can do like tick-tocks and stuff, I mean, depending on the power and your skill. So let's see, it says it's over here FTR, and so this is a FHSS transmitter capable quad. So if you have Futaba, I believe you should be able to bind this. I think that's what this little button here is, a bind button for Futaba if you want to use your own hobby grade radio. However, I don't understand why they keep doing Futaba, because Futaba is a good brand, but it's pretty expensive and not that many people use it. It'd be a lot better if they would use Free Sky or FR Sky, because tons and tons of people use that. But you know, it's ever up to them. I'm gonna use a stock transmitter anyways. So here's your little antenna. You can extend that out if you wanted some more range, but let's plug it in and see what kind of LEDs we have. Okay, so it looks like we have just two little red ones up on the board here. So they're not that bright, and with the canopy on, they might cover it up. And then you've got, where are they? Oh, they're in the back here. You've got two blue ones, one here and one over here on this arm. So kind of bad LEDs, especially with an exposed board like this. I would think it would be super easy to put LEDs all over this thing. But once again, probably trying to keep the weight as well as power consumption down a little bit. But everything looks pretty cool so far. Let's just get the canopy back on. It's got these little holes that slot into pegs. So there we go with that. So it looks awesome. So now let's take it out for a first little quick test. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do any 3D on this. I have flown 3D helicopters before, but you know, get a feel for this and maybe save it for the review or a separate flight. But as you can see, it just looks really awesome. So let's go to the flight. Okay, here we are. I have the X100 here, so let's just plug it in right here and then just turn on the remote. Whoa, I guess you do not need to go up, down the throttle to bind it. And I forgot to mention in my unboxing, I didn't know it, once you bind, these green LEDs will come on. So let's just come here and take off. Okay, as you can see here, everything looks good. I'm just flying out front here, hopefully to get less wind. It's a little more secluded, and hopefully you can see it better. So I'm just trying to hover it around. It is shaking a little bit, like bad PID loop in it, but obviously you can't change that, like it wobbles a little. But let's do a full punch out, because I've heard the punch is pretty good. And that was it. I guess that's not that bad, especially for 3D props. You know, you definitely get a lot less efficiency and power off them. But it's not what I thought I saw in a different video of somebody's, and not what they were claiming it to be, so a little disappointing there. I'm just flying around in stability mode here, so full stabilize. Now if we hit you have to hit the right stick, and now we're in full acro mode. Hopefully, let's try and get it here. If you can see, the angle stays, and I have to correct it. So full acro mode. You can see it is pretty twitchy, but the rates are actually kind of slow. Let's try and do a flip. There we go. You have to be pretty high. It's actually kind of disappointing to do flips. If only this had higher rates with Expo, because that's going to make 3D hard. So now if we click this button, we're in 3D mode. So as you can see, it's actually very little range of throttle up top, because if I go below half throttle, I'll get negative pitch. Well, it basically just reverses the motor direction. So let's try and do a flip here. There we go. I have a little practice with 3D with my V931. Ooh, a little tough. There we go. Let's try a front flip. There we go. Pretty cool. Ooh, it definitely is very touchy. There's hardly any room up for the throttle stick. There's hardly any movement, and it changes so rapidly, and the rates are low. There we go. So as you can see here, if I go down below half stick here, you can see it goes in the ground, and that's another problem there. Even no matter where you put your throttle, then it's gonna be spinning up. So if you're stuck in the grass, so if that happens, just click out of that mode there, and then you should be good. So there we go, back in 3D mode. So let's see. That's kind of cool. It definitely makes the flips not so bad. And it's working pretty well for a $40 3D quad there. But let's go back out 3D mode. Let's just fly around a little bit. Looks like oh, okay. Is that high rates? I don't know. Yeah, that looks like high rates I just found. So maybe now if I go into 3D mode, well, actually, let's try out of it. Okay. Looks like the rates are a little better, so. Yeah, rates are a little better once I clicked high rates, which I did that by clicking in. Whoops, why am I not getting? I think I clicked in the left stick, so. Now we got a little bit more throw, but still not great. Okay, so let's click out of that, so now we're back in full stabilized mode. Let's try a funnel. Looks pretty decent here. You can see. Flying pretty decent. Oh, almost stuck in the bushes, and I'm full throttle, and we're coming down. So however long that flight was, that was an entire flight time. I got some grass on here because that was a fully charged battery. So there we go, that was the unboxing and quick test of the X100 Dexterity, or the Dakos, I don't know. But so far, I kind of have mixed opinions on it. It doesn't have very much power, just because it is a 3D quad, 3D props, they're symmetrical, so they don't have the advantage of just one-way props. But for that, the props, it's not that bad, and it does what it's meant to do. It does 3D. I'd like some higher rates, some exponential probably, to get faster flipping and just more throttle range, because especially if you're like trying to go up, there's very little movement between full throttle, just to hover, and then reverse pitch. So, it's very difficult there to manage that. But for what it is, a $40 quad, I think it's pretty good so far. And I believe you might be able to use the larger style XK transmitters to get better programmable rates and stuff. But stay tuned for the review, and that was the unboxing quick test, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.